My ex demanded child support for a kid that is not mine, and my mother and sister are on her side. Some people say the past has a way of catching up with you. In my case, it wasn't the past itself, but someone from it who stormed back into my life, dragging chaos, lies, and betrayal in her wake. Years ago, I was in a relationship with a woman who, to put it mildly, was controlling and emotionally harmful. She always had to be in charge, always needed the last word, and slowly drained the life out of me. Eventually, it ended, and not on good terms. Walking away was painful, but it was also the best decision I ever made. I thought she was behind me forever. Life moved on. I worked hard, rebuilt myself, and after a few years, things started falling into place. I landed a solid job, one that not only covered all my needs, but gave me the comfort of savings and stability. For the first time, I felt like I was standing on solid ground. That's when she came back. Out of nowhere, my ex reached out, asking if we could talk. Against my better judgment, I agreed, thinking maybe she wanted closure, or even reconciliation. But when she showed up, she wasn't alone. She had a 5-year-old child with her, and with a straight face, she told me the boy was mine. Then, without hesitation, she demanded child support. At first, I froze. The child's age matched the timeline of when we'd broken up, so on paper, it was possible. But my gut screamed something was wrong. I sought advice from a lawyer friend who told me the smartest move was to keep it out of court if possible. So I came up with what I thought was a fair and responsible solution. I told her I'd gladly step up, cover every cost, and even be a real presence in the child's life, but only after a paternity test confirmed the truth. Everyone agreed to this, except her. She acted insulted, outraged even, as though my request for proof was some kind of betrayal. She insisted I just hand over the money because it was my duty. She threw excuse after excuse at me, and when that didn't work, she started contacting my family, spinning her version of the story. That I was trying to dodge responsibility, that I was heartless, that I was abandoning a child. When the test finally happened, the truth shattered her lies. The child wasn't mine, her reaction wasn't relief or embarrassment, it was fury. She cried, saying it was unfair, insisting she still deserved my money. She had no shame in admitting it, but she got nothing from me. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Fast forward to a recent family gathering at my parents' house. My brother, a close friend, and I were talking outside, away from everyone else. My brother cracked a joke about the whole fiasco with my ex, and we all laughed. Some of our jokes were admittedly dark, but we thought no one else could hear us. That's when my sister stormed in. She'd been eavesdropping and was furious. She shoved me against the wall, yelling at me for mocking a poor woman. I brushed it off, thinking she was just overly emotional. But later that night, she pulled me aside with our parents for what she called an intervention. To my disbelief, she had been in contact with my ex, and she believed her. My sister actually stood there, saying I had forced my ex into single motherhood, and that I had a moral obligation to support her child, despite knowing I wasn't the father. My dad stepped in, calmly reminding her that while joking about the situation may have been unkind, I wasn't responsible for that child. But then came the real shock. My mom sided with my sister. She said, even knowing the test results, that since I earned good money, I should have helped my ex out of decency. She ended her speech with a sentence that stung like a knife. I respect your decision, but I'm very disappointed in how selfish you've become. From there, the harassment didn't stop. My dad and brother were firmly on my side, but my sister bombarded me with angry texts telling me I was ruining lives. My mother kept her distance, but the disappointment in her voice lingered every time we spoke. Then came the breaking point. Not long ago, my ex and my sister showed up at my workplace with a giant sign plastered with my face, claiming I had abandoned my child. They shouted lies, trying to shame me in front of my colleagues, hoping social pressure would force me into submission. Security escorted them out, but not before serious damage was done. My employer warned me that if anything like this ever happened again, my job would be on the line. That was it. I contacted my lawyer friend again, and together we began preparing a detailed legal case against both of them for harassment, defamation, and attempted character assassination. The moment my ex learned about the lawsuit, her attitude flipped. She panicked, begged me to drop it, and promised never to contact me again. She even tried guilt, saying I'd be ruining her and her son's life. But I was done playing the good guy. She crossed the line. Now I'm fighting back. My sister, on the other hand, doubled down. When her attempt to humiliate me at work failed, she took to social media, spreading her lies. She painted me as a cold-hearted man who abandoned his child, twisting my legal defense into some kind of censorship. But the more she talks, the more evidence piles up against her. Every lie, every exaggerated post, ironically, it only strengthens my case. Recently, my mom tried to stage another family reconciliation at a Christmas gathering. I had been warned by my brother that it was a setup, that she planned to lock me in a room until I forgave my sister. I confronted my mother, told her I knew the plan, and cut her off. I told her and my sister plainly, until you see the truth, until you realize who the real manipulator is, don't contact me. My patience has run out. So here I am, walking into the new year with clarity. I'm not their scapegoat, not their wallet, and not their puppet. I may have lost some peace with my family, but I've gained something more important, self-respect. And I refuse to give that up ever again.